Now, as we've got our foam work in, I showed you the other day we were sticking some foam work in around there. I've actually taken some lightweight plaster, some joint cement, and it dries fairly reasonably overnight. And you come in the next morning and you'll see the areas where it's dried, where you have thicker seconds, so you have a little bit of cracking. So you take your little painter's spatula, which we have right here, and you fill in those extra cracks and those extra joints just a little bit, because that's going to take and add a little bit more detail. And when you're doing this actually helps find the sections that are thick and heavy that you might have to reinforce and support. And I do that with a bank pin or a T-pin. But most of the time, it dries pretty good, and it sets. And you won't have to worry about that, because when you put your finish and your paint over it, it really seals it up pretty good. What I've started now is we're starting some of our scenery. So I'm going to show you a simple method I do. I take a cheap can of house paint, a latex paint, a white or black, and use those for my bases. And I take an old pie pan and a 2-inch brush or a 1-inch brush, whatever you're comfortable with. And what I do is I put a little paint inside this here, and then I take some of my scenic colors, and I'll put a drop on the side, burnt umber, and I'll use yellow ochre and black, and this gives you something to work with. And as you do, you mix them together and you get your different colors, your stone. Now stone, if you take a drive around and you look at the stone all around you where you live, it's many different colors. And what I've done in this section right here, I've mixed burnt umber, some black, some white, some yellow ochre, and I've actually brushed it all in until I got the colors and blend that I wanted, and I just set it in place. Now, it'll dry, so you'll have to go back and touch it up. You'll see a little bit of your plaster sticking through. And what you want to do is you want to stop at that point and stick a little bit of your scenery, a little brush in there, light color, dark color, some of your vines hanging down, and this will give you a little bit of the detail that you want to start. It's just the basics, okay, now, because you will see the color. You'll see some burnt umber in there, see some yellow ochre, you see your gray that you mix with your black and the white, and this gives you limestone. As you come across here, you'll see your burnt ochre, okay, your yellow, and a little bit of your gray, and your limestone. And you work in the deeper colors, like you put a little dark gray or some gray umber in there, and that'll lighten up your crevices. Now we're going to go around to the other side, and this is more of our plaster work. We're coming in on our second level. This is limestone cliffs. It's going to be backing up. It's going to take us up to some of the mountains. This one I did the other day, and it's drying, and I'm going to let it dry so I can fill in some of the parts that are dried and cracked a little bit. Now as we're going back over here, we're going to show you some of our bench work going up on our 3rd and 4th level. Okay? We've actually got 1, 2, 3, 4, and that'll be our 5th level in the back as we're going. But this is our bench work, and I show you the cookie cutting. And this is how we sport it. Some 1x3s, some 1x2s, and you want to make sure it's really solid. So we've built it in solid. We put our cork on it as we go, because this gives us a chance to actually get our radiuses in and get them correct. And then we have the opening in the back, which we have access now for them to climb in through there. As we're going, this will carry on forward. And I'm going to take you over to a double work in the back. This is going to go up on the wall, and it's going to give me double track and double back. So I build this as very lightweight. I build this so that it's already pre-made, and we can come to it. This will go back up here later on, turn each way you want. So you got 2 more layers going up here, but you're going to have a siding area. So if you look at it, you'll have a siding area and make yourself a little room. It's very lightweight. I mean, it's ultra lightweight, and you want to keep it as light as you can. That's keeping your bench work light. Now I'm going to show you, that was one section, but I'm going to show you a section that I did the other day, and we finished it. This ties our bench work in with the supports. Now this is a double track, okay? I'm going to keep it going up because I have my 1st layer, 2nd layer, 3rd, and 4th layer, which is going to tie all the way down to the other end, if you can see that. It'll tie in there. But it's going to give me elevations, and we leave areas open so we can actually cut the bench work out and go back up for our valleys. We want to leave some areas in here where we can actually put a bridge through here and go back up to a certain area here, or leave enough space that you can fill in and put your scenery in here. As you come over here, you want to leave enough space wide. You also know that this is going to be our river section. We're going to have double bridges here. We're going to have a single bridge over here, and we'll have some more bridges up through here, going over the top of the river. This is some of the kits we have in stock, and others that you can pre-order. Now I want to bring you back over. Here's another kit. We just set them up here so it'll give you a little view of what we have and what you can order through Athens and Roundhouse. But what I've done here is I've got some old kits that we've got, and we finished this section through here, and it's part of our mountains. Now this is with ochre, and this is part of the different colors that we put. Because you don't want all the scenery the same, we've just added more color, okay? Now this is more like sandstone cliffs. This is going to go up into our roundhouse area. And we have kit bashes, so we were having a little bit of fun. We were sampling our ground and what we want to do, and we just put some in this morning. So we're going to take an old kit like this, and you might want to put an old car or something like that. This is all kit bashed, and we're going to make an old shed we set down here. So that'll give you a little bit more scenery. And you bring it back into your other scenery going here, and we work at a general pace and go forward. We want you to come back and watch us, and we want you to keep watching as we go forward.